Hello YouTube, Luigi here. This is going to be a fake unboxing, meaning I have already opened it. I've held this in my hand, I've flicked it open, I've played with it, I've even oiled it. But just pretend. At least I came clean with you on that. This is a Coast FX350. Now, Coast has been on my radar for a long time. I haven't seen a crummy review of them anywhere on YouTube, ever. And what I like about them is almost every knife, at least the ones I've looked at, they've all been full flat grinds. Coast FX350. The manufacturer's site calls this a G10 scale. None of the other reviewers really believe that, and I don't either. It doesn't feel like G10 whatsoever. It's got that Zytel feeling, but it's still, I like the honeycomb pattern, and I like the grip it gives you. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it's G10 for a minute. We're going to go around the outside before we open it up, like we usually do here on my fascinating channel. Now, I've got some data here from the manufacturer's site that my measurements are slightly different, but it's no big deal. It's no big deal. What we have is a unusual tri-carry clip. It's tip up, tip down right side, or tip up left side, but you can't get tip down left side. But that's really pretty good if you think about it. The left-handies are not completely out of the loop on this one. Big pivot. Big pivot, and when you see the lockup and feel how solid this is, you can see that big pivot at work. It's got basically three body screws, and these two screws are for relocating the pocket clip, and you'll notice the little dugout hole there. So the pocket clip locks in and won't really rock on you because it's locked in. I always love to see that. Always like to see that. The frame bar side is stainless steel with a TiNi coating on it. It's a good one. It's like a gunmetal gray. The relief cut for the lock bars on the outside. Sometimes you see them on the inside, not necessarily on Coast, but some manufacturers will do that. It's got dual thumb studs. And let's open it up. Now, this knife is really stiff. Loud snap there. It's really stiff, and I've lubed it up with my brother's space-age lubricant here. This is so stiff you're actually tempted to loosen the pivots, and I always hate doing that lest I get side-to-side blade play. So I'll just wait for it to break in. You know, there, I was able to flick it. So you see, it is possible, even though it's not broken in yet. What do we have? Well, I measure this as a 3 3/4 inch blade. The manufacturer calls it a 3 1/2. That's one of those differences. I measure the handle at 4 3/8. They measure it at 4 1/4, and they say it's 8 inches overall. So we're within an eighth. I mean, it's no big deal. It's really not a big deal. I like full flat grinds. I like the shape of this blade. It is broad. It is beefy. I like how the thumb stud is not on the flat grind. Therefore, some of those age-old complaints of, oh, the thumb stud gets in the way of the slicing, that cannot happen here, which is something I like. I like them for their slicing capabilities. And I think it's a better look, to tell you the truth, than a hollow grind. Although, believe me, I have plenty of hollow grinds. But one of the reasons, like I said, that I gravitated toward Coast is because they use a great deal of flat ground knives. Let's take a look at the lock now. It is an unusually thick lock bar, and fortunately or unfortunately, it's about 90% engaged. I mean, it's way over there. For a new knife, we don't like to see necessarily that much engagement. But it is what it is, and this is how it came. But given the thickness of this bar, I don't think it's going to wear away anytime soon. Let's take a look at the centering. Remember, this is an inexpensive knife. Coast is in Portland, Oregon, but their knives are made overseas. And there you can see the centering. Pretty darn good, huh? Look at that. Look at that. Sub $30 knife. It's heavy. We're talking about 5.1 ounces. You feel this knife? The breadth of the blade with that kind of weight behind it gives you some power to your cuts. And I'm liking this. I've been following these a long time. This is the FX350. I've been looking at the FX350 too. And then I realized that probably the only difference between the 350 and the 352 is 352 has black scales. In that case, I'm not going to get it. I think it's identical. I might be wrong. You have a full 4-finger grip. Obviously, with a knife this big, you would. You've got jimping over here. It's not necessarily on. Well, there's a little bit, a notch or two on the spine of the blade itself. The rest is back here on the scales and on the frame. But I think for the value, this is a terrifically solid knife. It's moving in no direction. It's a little stiff right now, but my God, if a new knife came all loose and flimsy, who would like that either? I always expect a new knife to be stiff, and this one is. I think there's a good value here, people. I do, and I would encourage you to look at it. The Coast FX350. That's it. Good night, everybody. God bless, and take good care. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.